Have you heard of playing the movie to the end? This can be a really effective tool if you do it right. So, when you're tempted to drink, when you are fantasizing about having just one glass, all that you do is you pause and you make yourself think about how things are going to play out. Like, what's going to be the story, or how is the movie going to end if you have that drink? Like, what's going to happen later that evening, in the early hours of the morning, or the next day? Because we both know it's probably not going to be just one drink. So, how many will you end up having? How will you feel as you stumble to bed? What will you do or not do? What will you think when you wake up at 4 a.m. unable to sleep? Or when you're struggling through the next day? When you do this exercise properly and you really play out this movie in detail, it can be very powerful. So I want to talk about it because playing the movie to the end isn't a concept I came up with. You probably heard about it before. It's talked about in quite a few different places. And it's certainly a tool that I think's good if you do it right. But what I often notice is that people get it wrong. And sometimes I see people actually doing the exact opposite of playing the movie forward. So what I mean by that is when someone says to me, "Oh, but Kate, I just love that first drink. It's so good, isn't it?" Or drinking is always so relaxing. Or drinking is such a treat for me at the end of a tough day. Well, when I hear that, I know someone is playing out the first scene in their drinking movie, and that's it. They're watching that beginning bit on a loop in their mind over and over again, and they're not thinking further ahead than that. They're not thinking about anything else. And I just want to shine a light on this common movie mistake because I think a lot of people fall into this trap, and I know I did too. So I want you to imagine this for a moment. You go to the cinema to watch a movie, obviously. You sat there with your popcorn, and the opening scene of the film you've chosen is amazing. You're thinking, great, I'm so glad I'm here. This is going to be amazing. But then, after that first scene or two, things slowly go downhill. The movie gets worse and worse. It's nothing like the beginning after a while. You start to wish you hadn't bothered, but you can't seem to leave. You can't get out of the film now. You're committed. The movie takes you to some really dark places, and by the time the credits roll and you get up out of your seat, you're kind of staggering out of the cinema feeling awful. You are ill, tired, and you're in a terrible mood. Now, if someone else asked you what you thought of that movie, what would you say? I think you would judge the movie in its entirety, just like you do with everything else in life. So if 80 or 85% of it was crap, then a great opening scene doesn't override that. Yeah? So that's the key thing. When we think about alcohol, it's always got to be within the context of the whole movie. And when it comes to drinking, that movie is 24 hours long. We're not talking about a 90-minute rom-com here. It's a 24-hour horror film. Seriously, that is really how long it lasts. That's how long you deal with the fallout for, because you go from those first couple of drinks to the extra drinks you didn't plan on having, to drinking many, many more, and then passing out on the sofa or falling into bed. Then the next day, waking up early because you're unable to sleep, feeling hungover or at best feeling tired and groggy. The problems you drank over the night before will not have magically resolved themselves. They're still there, only now it's even harder to handle. You probably got some, alcohol-induced anxiety, and you're definitely not going to be in a problem-solving mindset, so everything feels hard. You are not on your game, and frankly, just getting through the day, doing the bare minimum, feels like climbing some kind of mountain. So by the time you get to the end of that kind of day, it's probably been such a battle and such hard work that you're much more likely to want another drink to just numb out. So yeah, There are 24 hours in your drinking movie, and the good bit that I think you're so focused on, the opening scene, that is only half an hour, maybe 1 hour max. But this is a package deal. You're going to get the other 23 hours whether you like it or not. So when people say, oh, drinking is so relaxing, you can see that that's not really true when you think about the 24 hours following your drink. It's hardly stress free. And I don't think it sounds like much of a treat either. Putting yourself through all of that is a punishment in many ways. So, if you are drinking and struggling right now, you've got two choices. You can carry on living for that very brief opening scene. You can carry on putting all your energy and focus on it, romanticizing the hell out of those opening moments, wishing things were different and trying to find a way of skipping the rest of the movie. Or you can just push play on a different story, the alcohol-free film. And I will tell you now, the opening scenes of that sober movie might be a bit underwhelming. You might be a bit unsure whether it's going to go anywhere, or you're going to like it. But stay with it. It'll warm up. It's a grower. It gets better and better as you get further and further into it. The alcohol-free movie has a very happy ending. You don't want to miss out on that. So, I'm Kate B. Scroll down and let me know which movie you are going to choose for yourself tonight. You deserve a really good one. All right, take care.